Hello, my name's Jeremy over here at Porsche Oklahoma City, and today we have the 2005 Carrera GT. We're going to go ahead and dive into it a little bit and teach you maybe a couple things that you might not know about it. This car came out in the year 2000 as a concept car at the Paris Auto Show, but back then it didn't have a top or windows. So that made it difficult because it was raining that day, so they had to deal with that. They scrapped the fog lights and they put a top and some windows on it so you could drive in the rain now. And this is the final product. It originally debuted as a 5.5 liter V10, but now it's a 5.7 liter V10 in the production model. So they actually beefed it up from the concept model, which seems pretty rare for car buildings nowadays. Some pretty cool features on this car is that you have the single mono wiper. You have the spoiler drive that raises when it's about 70 miles an hour and adds some downforce to the car. Another cool feature on the cars is that you may have noticed that there's different wheel lugs colors on each side. So on the left side, they're red. We'll go over here to the right side. And they're blue on the right side. That's because they're reverse threads, and one side is a left-handed thread and one side is the right-handed threads. The concept behind that is that so when the wheels are spinning, that the lug doesn't fall off on the car. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Targa top. So we'll go ahead and we'll show you how to take it off. So we'll go ahead and open the front trunk, and then if you come in here, so there's a couple buttons here that you press to unlock them, and then they go in the front trunk of the car, which is a pretty cool feature as well. So we'll go ahead and open that up, and they actually give you a nice little description on how to take it off. So it shows you that the passenger side comes off first and then you put it in. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll go ahead and go on the passenger side and we'll pop the lock off. And then you go straight and flip it upside down. And it sits there in that place. Then we have these straps to help lock it into place too, and they're numbered to tell you which one is supposed to go first. And then they lock right down, just like that. The driver's side. Then this side actually goes on top with the glass side up. And then you do the second strap. That's number 2. And then just like that, you're ready to go. So then once you have the tops off, then you notice that you have kind of exposed like where the top goes. So they made this nifty little slider, cover it up. Just a cool little feature to hide the exposed parts of the car. There you go, now you're ready to ride out in the sun. So another thing that you might notice when you open up your Carrera GT is all this carbon fiber. You got it on the door sills, you got it on the floor. And you might ask yourself, what is all that carbon fiber? Well, this car is actually a full monocoque system, chassis system. So what that means is that the whole chassis is built from one piece of carbon fiber. But this car is special because this one's actually 2 pieces. One, the monocoque that you're in the car itself, and then the second piece is what holds all the motor together. So let's go ahead and open that up and take a look at that. So here's the 5.7 liter V10 motor. It was originally in production for Formula One back in the early 90s, but then that kind of got put on the back burner, and then there was talks about putting this motor in a Le Mans series car that also towards the late 90s, and then that kind of got put on the back burner, and then they decided, hey, let's put it in a production car. So the Carrera GT, they made 1,270 of them over the course of between 2003 and to 2005. And it's over 600 horsepower, and it top speeds just over 200 miles an hour as well. So another thing that you might notice when you look into the rear engine of your Carrera GT is that you notice that your suspension is mounted different than it normally is on a normal car. On a normal car, it's mounted onto the hub, onto the wheel. This has a push rod lever suspension in order to take the weight of the wheels off the suspension, and it improves the overall weight distribution of the car as well. And it also maximizes the space for these low profile cars so that you can have it lower to the ground, have better clearance and better drag and better driving abilities as well. So if you ever notice when you're looking in the back of the Carrera GT as well, you may have noticed that there's these little carbon fiber pieces on both sides. And what are they, you may ask? Well, this side has a triangle, a hazard triangle, so if anything ever happens on the road, you can put that down as well. And then on the other side is the towing stuff for the car as well. So it has the tow hitch and storage compartment there, and it holds all the parts there. So it's a pretty cool aspect that they utilized all the space. So when you open your door on the Carrera GT, you might think that everything seems normal, but you might look and see that this looks a little different. What is this, you may ask? Well, you pop it out, and it's a little storage compartment in there. So, the inside of the Carrera GT. As you may look at it, it's got the manual as well. What makes this one cool compared to the other models is that it has a leather shift knob on there, unlike the traditional wood knobs on the other models. But there's also another reason that Porsche built this the way that they built this, and that's because they wanted to maximize efficiency on driving. As you can see, the shifter isn't normally down and low like they normally are on other cars. This is right up by the steering wheel. That's in order so that you can quickly get to the shift and get to your next gear. So another cool thing about the interior of the Carrera GT is that with the tiny little PCM screen that you have here, you might be wondering where the CD player is. Well, if you look underneath, you got your CD player down here, and then that's where you're able to put on some of your favorite tunes. And then you look on the bottom of the carbon fiber, and you're thinking what this little piece might be. Well, this car came with a luggage set, and it came with a bunch of different perfectly designed pieces that Porsche knew that the customer might go on a road trip, might need to have some luggage, and they made them fit perfectly in their spots. So the reason why the Carrera GT is here is because there was a campaign on it that updated the front and rear control arms and suspension to more modern day suspension. Another thing that it also got was fresh tires. And since 20 years since it debuted, with the updated tires and suspension, it shaved 16 seconds off the Nürburgring time that it did back in 2004. And now, 20 years later, we got a faster, badder ride. And that is the Carrera GT, guys. Thanks for dropping by and learning some cool new features about the car. And feel free to tune in next time for possibly a hypercar. Who knows?